Welcome back to today's Explainer. Now, let's talk about something that sounds almost unbelievable when you first hear it. We walk around every day with this deeply ingrained assumption about our friends, right? We think our personal networks are structured a certain way. But what if the very architecture of your social world isn't at all what you think it is? Today, we're decoding the hidden structures that literally bring us all together, and the truth is actually quite humbling.
Okay, let's dive into this. I want you to ask yourself, who really owns your friendships? Now, at first glance, that question almost sounds absurd. You're probably thinking, well, I do, obviously. I made these friends. I maintain these relationships. We all have this fundamental belief that we're the sole architects of our own social lives. But actually, scratch that. I'm going to challenge that basic assumption right now, because the reality of human networking points to a completely different dynamic.
You see, most of us think our friendships form this neat little egalitarian circle. We imagine ourselves standing right in the center, managing this perfectly balanced ring of people we've personally gathered over the years. But the truth is far more structural and far less democratic. Our social world is not a circle, it's a pyramid. And at the absolute top of that pyramid, you'll usually find just one or two individuals who are single-handedly responsible for the overwhelming majority of the relationships in your entire life.
Take this example. Author Malcolm Gladwell decided to trace the origins of his own friendships. He looked at 40 of his friends and traced back exactly how he met every single one of them. And what he found was absolutely staggering. Out of those 40 independent, unique friendships, an unbelievable 30 of those connections somehow led back to just one person. One single guy named Jacob. 30 out of 40. Imagine that.
Think about the sheer magnitude of that first second. Without Jacob, Gladwell wouldn't know Sarah, he wouldn't know Amy, he wouldn't know Nigel. All those distinct personal relationships flowed entirely through one man. Gladwell realized that his social circle wasn't really his at all. It belonged to Jacob. He and everyone else was just living in Jacob's world. It was Jacob's club, and the rest of them were simply invited in.
And that right there brings us to the breakthrough concept we're uncovering in this explainer. These rare individuals, the Jacobs of the world, are what we call connectors. These are the people who link us to the rest of the world. They bridge completely distant, unrelated places and social groups. Connectors possess this rare, almost supernatural gift for quietly, effortlessly introducing us to friend after friend. They are literally the invisible glue holding our social fabric together.
Which naturally leads us to a burning question, right? What exactly gives someone this immense, almost invisible social power? What makes Jacob different from you, or me, or anyone else? Why does some people get to sit at the top of that social pyramid while the rest of us are kind of just hanging out on the steps?
Well, the first and most obvious clue is beautifully simple. Connectors simply know a lot of people. We all know someone exactly like this, don't we? It's that friend who you walk across a mall parking lot with, and before you even reach the doors, they've bumped into and chatted with 5 different people. Or you go out for dinner and 3 different waiters come over just to give them a hug. We constantly see this happen, and we usually just laugh it off like, oh, she just knows everybody. But we rarely stop to appreciate just how incredibly powerful and important that specific gift really is.
But anecdotes are one thing. How do you actually measure this kind of social power? To quantify this gift, Gladwell shares a brilliant, clever little experiment known as the Manhattan phone book test. It's a way to put a hard number on something that usually feels totally unquantifiable: human social reach.
Let's move to and see how this builds. The mechanics of the test are remarkably straightforward. Step 1. You pull a random list of about 250 surnames straight out of the Manhattan phone book. Step 2. You give the list to a subject and ask them to score a point for every single surname on that list that belongs to someone they know. Step 3, and this is absolutely key, they don't just count their best friends. Even distant acquaintances, former co-workers, or, the guy they buy coffee from every Tuesday count.
To put it in super practical terms, if you go down the list and you happen to know 3 different people with the last name Johnson, you get 3 points. Very simple math. The higher your total score at the end of the 250 names, the more socially connected you are to the wider world.
Now, what's really fascinating is how Gladwell applied this test across wildly different demographics to see how social reach varies. He tested 2 highly contrasting groups. On one side, a New York City college freshman class, mostly young people, many recent immigrants, largely from working-class backgrounds. On the other side, a group of established professionals, older, highly educated, mostly wealthy, and deeply entrenched in their careers and lives in the city.
And this brilliantly illustrates a massive gap in social reach. When the data came in, the freshman class had an average score of about 21, meaning they recognized, on average, 21 people matching those surnames. But the established professionals, their
their average score was around 39. They scored nearly double.
So what does this glaring difference in the data actually prove? It drives home our core conclusion. Social reach is absolutely not evenly distributed. By virtue of who they are, how they live, the circles they move in, and their innate habits, some individuals simply know significantly more people across a much wider array of circles than the rest of us ever will.
So the crucial point is that connectors act as the critical infrastructure of our entire society. Think of them not just as popular people, but as vital structural elements. They are the bridges spanning completely isolated islands of people. They are the high-speed highways allowing information to travel rapidly across demographics. They are the open doors that grant us access to worlds we would never ever see on our own.
If there is one big takeaway from this explainer today, it is this: connectors multiply our reach. If you want to understand how new ideas spread like wildfire, how you get that lucky break for a new job, or why some social movements tip into the mainstream while others just die in complete silence, you must understand these people. They are silently expanding your network every single day, multiplying your presence in the world, sometimes without you even lifting a finger.
So I want to leave you with this final, provocative thought. Take a hard look at your phone contacts today, your friend group, your colleagues. Map out the pyramid. Who is sitting right at the top? Whose club are you really a guest in? Who is the connector in your life? Find your Jacob, and I promise you it'll completely change the way you look at your own friendships forever. Keep exploring, and I'll see you next time.